Yo, 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 what is going on, Kingdom Builder Familia and my COD fam? It's your boy BN. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the most popular Kingdom Builders on the market, starting with looking at the top 200 grossing or top grossing leaderboard for the games that have made the most amount of money on the Play Store, App Store. And we will be specifically looking at the US market for the top 200 grossing. How many Kingdom Builders are in the top 200 grossing? This data was pulled between the 6th and the 8th of January. We're going to show you a number of stats and hope you enjoy. As always, if you do, make sure to throw us up because it helps out a lot. So let's first start off by kind of showing you, here's kind of a master list of all the Kingdom Builders at the moment that have been and or appeared on the top 200 grossing leaderboard for the US market. Now, this may not necessarily include every single one, but the majority, if not all, for the ones that I have documented that you're going to end up finding here. There's a lot. You'll see the release dates. Actually, I can just do this too as well. That might just be a little easier here. So we start back up. Boom, look at that. And so from here, this just kind of gives you a nice little overview, an index, if you will, on all the Kingdom Builders that you may see that we will be showing rankings for, where they rated, and then downloads and download differentials, a lot of stats that we're going to be showing you here right about now. So for this one, let me break down the columns and how this is going to work. So for here, we have the games release date. We have current downloads. This was pulled on the 6th of January, right? So what's the total amount of downloads? GT is the Google Trend rank, and that's the latest Google Trend numbers from doing an independent search based on YouTube trends. TG is top grossing rank. So where did they rank on that? This was pulled, I believe, on the 7th of January. Download differential is what is the download plus minus from the last pool, in this case on the March 8th of last year to January 6th. And then again, you have the rating, which is what's their current rating, and then their rating differential or rating that we have, which is again from the last rating, wherever that is. Oh yeah, sorry, that's rating diff. This is just rate. There we go. Yeah, we'll just do it like that. And I guess that should be rating. Sweet. Cool, moved it over a little bit more. I feel happy. And so yes, there's a lot of games here. However, let's go ahead and start with the most obvious ones, which is going to be the, let's start with top downloads. And we're going to work our way up, and we'll get to the stuff at the top. So at the moment, there is 89 games that have made it into the top 200 grossing as of early January. That's almost half of the games on the top 200 grossing that are specifically Kingdom Builders, 4X, MMORTS, if you really want to consider it that, but it's kind of more, build and battle, city building, build and destroy, build, battle. You guys get the point. And so as we kind of work our way up from this, you can see right here's total downloads. Now these are some of the games that were on the top 200 grossing. If you look at these, that are no longer. Some notable ones could be things like Grand Cross, Age of Titans. That was an anime Kingdom Builder that was gaining some traction. Era of Conquest or EOC. There were some creators that went to go and try and play that. And as we work our way up, here you can see these are the games right now, right? Downloads 2 mil as we're breaking through. And again, we're going to look at these in a number of different ways too as well. We continue onward. And again, some other ones that you might find somewhat notable, right? Clash of Kings, Game of Kings, Lord of Seas, Age of Empires Mobile, right? There you go. 4.5 mil downloads, right? This was released October, so a little less than 3 months ago. Not bad. Blaze of Battle. We got Mars Sanction. Infinity Kingdom. Shout out to my IK fam, right? Released in 2021, 5.7 mil. As we keep working our way up here, now you're kind of getting closer to that 10, right? 9, 11, now breaking in, going 10, 11 mil plus. Some other games here. Sea of Conquest, Age of Kings, Call of Dragons. There we are. There's the COD fan. We come in ranked 46 for total downloads out of Kingdom Builders on the top 200 grossing board at 9.1 million, right? Game was released right almost 2 years ago, right? We're going to be coming up to that here in about 2.5 months for the 2-year anniversary. Wolfgang. Right, if you really want to get your Simba and Mufasa Lion King Kingdom Builder stuff on. Lord of the Rings, another one, Kiss of War, Chief Almighty, right? These are other kind of prominent, I would say popular, or at least trendy-ish games, right? Again, if you're in the scene, you most likely have heard of some of these. As we continue, now you're kind of getting closer to the 20 mil download, breaking that with Warpath, even Dominations, Pirates of the Caribbean, if you want to get your sea, water, Kingdom Builder Conquest enjoyment on. Something like, what do we have? Rise of Kings, West Game, right? If you want something that's a little more Western style. One of my buddies ran one of the strongest states there for a while. Viking, Rise of Valhalla, 26 mil. We got Rise of Castles, right? 36 mil downloads. And as we continue here, right, Brutal Age, even Whiteout Survival coming in at 19, right, 45. And then here's your top, I guess, 19, if you will, right, that you have. And I think it's pretty clear that there are some outliers. We have Age of Apes, 53 mil downloads. Age of Origins, you got Doomsday, 61. Last Empire, 68. Guns of Glory, 70. Rise of Kingdoms, there's Rock, number 7. 82 million downloads. Mobile Strike, Arnold Schwarzenegger still going hard even as of 2015. 83 million downloads. State of Survival, 87. Game of War, which is crazy that Game of War, Clash of Kings. It's crazy to me that you look at this and you see the game here that is the youngest, which would be Whiteout Survival at 45 million downloads. And then you have a couple 2021s on this board. You got Ants, Doomsday, 2 games in 2021, right? You got one 2020 for Age of Apes, but beyond that, everything's older than that. I mean, look at this. The top 4 most downloaded games are all from 2016 and earlier, with Lords Mobile just being a complete outlier in and of its own, and even Evony to an extent, but 540 million downloads. What's wild to me, and maybe I'll show this later, is what's crazy to me is that in Lords Mobile, you have this amount of downloads to date. However, the viewership for the amount of people that watch Lords Mobile content is almost about the same, if not maybe a little less on average than the amount of YouTube views that you see for Rise of Kingdom content creators, which is just baffling to me. I mean, Worthy Prince is the number 1 CC, I believe, over there on Lords Mobile, if not the top creator. And even the numbers he pulls on average, right, back when you could say, people like Dragothian and Legend Roni and Gecko, even Omniarch, Chinchi, Chisgul, etc., right? Even when you were looking at like the numbers that they were averaging for some of those, right, at kind of the highest point, was still more than Lords Mobile. It's just, it's wild. Again, I'll show off some of those, maybe show off some of those social viewership numbers later on. Even Evony, 170 mil. Now let's look at some download differentials. So here, I think, is probably the most telling-ish, if you will, because download differentials will show us which games have been getting the most recent traction. Now, again, we're not doing this necessarily month to month. I will try to attempt to pull this a little more frequently, at least maybe not as long as 9 months between. But even just going from these last 9 months, you can see Lords Mobile still having the most. However, what is interesting to me on here is that all of a sudden Whiteout Survival goes from top downloads at number 19 to now number 2 in most recent downloads, right? Which means they're gaining traction. And keep in mind, this game came out almost 2 years ago. So kind of similar there with Call of Dragons, right? However, the thing about COD is that we rank 22 and our download gain is only 2.3 mil over the last 9 months. I mean, so 2.3 mil to 29 mil. I mean, again, keep in mind, right? This specifically is now downloads, I believe, are global. The ranks themselves are from the top 200 grossing on the US market. So based on that, it's just, I mean, there's a big difference there. That's what, 12, 13, 14 times the amount of downloads you're getting when you basically released, what, a month and a half after Whiteout Survival did? It's just, again, part of, don't even get me started on the ads. But let's just look at this. So Whiteout Survival comes in number 2, right? 20. Now, the interesting thing about this is they have, in the last 9 months, they have got more than half of their total downloads. That, to me, is, that's what, almost 66%. Of their downloads in the past 9 months have come in that period. And before that, it was about a third, right? And so you have to think about that where they've been out almost 2 years. So that means a year and 3 months garnered them about a third-ish of their total downloads that you see now, and then the other 2/3 came in the last 9 months, I mean, maybe they're doing something right. Doomsday, 26 million downloads in the past 9 months. Almost half of total downloads. Evany, 20 million downloads. Age of Apes, 19 million downloads, right? Almost a third. Total Battle Tactical Wars, 12 million, right? That's what? About half, less than that, 40% or so. Vikings, right? 10 mil, 7 mil, right? So even State of Survival still seeing 5 mil downloads. Rise of Kingdom seeing 5 mil in the past 9 months. Let me see here. I'm curious where's my Infinity Kingdom? I don't know where they rank. Oh, here they are. 200,000. Okay, I'm sorry, IK fam. I still love you guys. But yeah, sorry. Let me show you, right? And then you can see here, right? There's only 61 games. This is wild to me. So out of those games, right now, these ones are the new ones. So these are the new ones here that you can see that were just added on the top, not added, but have recently made it into the top 200 grossing for the NA market. And so these are the amounts. This is, I don't even know what this is, 17. So you have 17 games that have now made it into the top 200 grossing, right? With the top ones being there, right? Last Land coming back into play, World of Water, this was released 2014, Age of Empires was released 2014, right? So this is not bad. Then you look at the games that we had, like I mentioned, 61 that were on the list 9 months ago and are still on the top 200 grossing for the NA market this month. And then you see, right, what's their amount of downloads that they're getting, right? We'll kind of just show that off so everyone can take a look there. And I'm sure there's going to be pausing anyway, so, we'll kind of keep that in mind. Okay, now let's look at something like rating, right? So let's look at the games that have the highest ratings right now. So the games that have the highest ratings, and again, are on the download board or the top 200 grossing, right? Basically just means that they need to have downloads listed here. If they have downloads listed here, then they're good. So the games that have the 4.6s that make that up is going to be 10. Those games being Viking, Rise, Ant Legion, Lord of Seas, Chief Almighty, Fire and Glory, Blood and War, Kiss of War, Mecha Domination, Savage Survival, Heroes of History, Jurassic Front, and almost Lords Mobile. And so for these ones now, which ones have been on here previously? Right, so let's look at some differentials here. This, to me, is probably the craziest one, and we'll look at those two as well, but Fire and Glory went from basically a 4 to a 4.6, right? So they raised their rating point up by 0.6 in 9 months. Now, it is a game that has lower downloads, and you could say those 0.6 points came from the 400,000, right? That's pretty wild when you think about it. That's right, a little bit less than a third of total downloads that they have. However, right, you'll see some of the biggest games here with that, right? Like Viking Rise would be the biggest one here at a 4.6, right, for 26. I mean, you could probably say like the ones that have higher downloads, Kiss of War, Ant Legion, Chief Almighty, right? Maybe those 4.6s are more, I don't want to say accurate, but maybe there's a little bit more cachet to them because they have more downloads. So the kind of rating stability is a little bit more evened out. And then you look at like games here that have 4.5s, right? So you got 12 games that have 4.5s. Call of Dragons is among them, even with Rise of Kingdoms. Lords Mobile. Let's see what else here we got. Beast Lord, Rise of Castles, The Walking Dead, Age of Apes, right? I mean, 4.5 is pretty respectable, especially when you consider a lot of these games that are at high values. I mean, Lords Mobile, 540, right, for the downloads. Rise of Kingdoms, 82, 61, 53, 36, 25. Even for, I mean, again, high download numbers here. And then let's look at some of the games that are on the list that maybe don't have the highest ratings, which 2.9, right? Now, some of these are, I just want to point out, right, when you're looking at download differentials, right, for games that have received some, like, what's funny to me is you notice that some of these games on the ratings have dropped. And let me show you this on the rating differential, because this is really interesting. When I looked at this, I think I have to go Z to A for this, right? Yeah. So on this one, you could see Fire and Glory, right, having the largest rating differential that we talked about, going from 4 to 4.6, which is wild. And then we have a point. Look at this. Call of Dragons at number 2. They had a 4.2 rating 9 months ago. Since then, they've got 2.3 million downloads, and they increased it by 0.3 points. I mean, that's pretty darn respectable if you're going from 4.2 to 4.5. So shout out to my COD fam. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. 0.3, Ebony went from 3.8 to 4.1. That is pretty bananas, and that's from 20 million downloads. And then you got some of these 0.2s, right? There's 4 of them. That's Beast Lord, Wolf Game, War of Peace, and Game of Thrones Conquest, right? Going from 4 to 4.3 up to 4.2 through 4.5. And that's with 2 mil, 2.8, 500, a mil download differentials. And then you got a bunch of 0.1s here, right? So some of the 0.1s. There's 12 0.1s for increasing. Some of the notable ones I would say, right, who do we have here? Total Battle, Rise of Kingdoms, right, going from 4.4 to 4.5 and getting 5 mil new downloads. Vikings Rise going from 4.5 to 4.6 and getting 10 mil new downloads. Now, let's look at some of the decreases. This is interesting to me. So which games have taken the hardest hits here on rating differentials? So the biggest one, Project Entropy, and also the largest plus-minus differential, going from 4 to 3.2. Now, when you look at the amount of download differentials from then to now, right, you're looking at 440,000. That's about a third. Right, where they had 960, about a mil, now it's 1.4. That could be for any number of reasons. 0.4, you see going from 4 to 3.6. However, the interesting thing about Empire 4 Kingdoms is they have no downloads. And this to me seems as though, that can be a big factor. If your game is not getting any new downloads, now maybe they shut down. Maybe they just don't have any new kingdoms or new servers, states that are being released. But if you're not getting any new downloads, I would have to imagine that probably will factor into a rating drop. However, if you're also getting no new downloads, does it just basically mean that your game is maybe done? Now, this says 0, but 0 could still mean, less than like 10,000, right? Because basically they're counting 100,000s. So let's say that you're like 50,000 or under. Maybe it's not rounding up. If you have 50,001, maybe it rounds up to 100,000, or maybe you have to be at 90,001 for it to rank up. So the point is like it is a loose 0, if you will, but it does clearly show you that games that are either not getting they've got no new downloads in the past 9 months have seen rating drop-offs, right, with, again, the 0.4, you even see the 0.2, the 0.2, right, with dropping. However, what's interesting is that Whiteout Survival, right, has gone from a 4.4 to a 4.1, losing 0.3 rating points in their last 9 months, and they got 29 million downloads. I don't know what that is. That is something to note, and I think worthy of a note, given where they've ranked in other areas. But why 0.3 rating point losses on the past 9 months? I'd be curious for those of you that are playing Whiteout Survival if you maybe have an understanding on why. But yeah, that's where they are. You look at some other maybe notable ones. Warpath, right? 3 mil downloads. They saw a 0.1 rating point loss. Invasion, 6 million download differential they've got. They saw a 1 rating point loss. Let's see what else. 7 mil, right? The Ants Underground, 7 mil downloads in the past. 2.5 for Nexus. Rise of Castles, 2 mil, right? Seeing some rating point losses. So yeah, this kind of stuff is just super interesting to me. Now, I want to show you where do they rank on the top grossing, right? So these are the rankings on the top grossing leaderboard as of a couple days ago for the U.S. market. You see Whiteout Survival ranked number 2. Ebony was number 3. Total Battle, number 5. Rise of Castles, Ice and Fire, number 7. Age of Origins, number 8. Last Shelter, Lords of Mobile, number 12. Rise of Kingdoms was number 16. Let me see what else we got here. Game of Thrones, Age of Empires was number 27. And again, they're probably one of the newest games too as well, right? Number 27 that they ranked. Let's see here. Clash of Kings was number 35. Age of Apes, number 40. We have Warpath, number 48. Call of Dragons was top 50. It's not bad, but they're also basically only 4 spots ahead of Infinity Kingdom, which is kind of nuts that you could say maybe there's about... It doesn't necessarily mean that there's about the same amount of spending. I mean, that's 4 position differences, right? But it just kind of goes in. Even Warpath, right, that it has about the amount similar amount of downloads or close-ish to Call of Dragons, right, is only 2 spots ahead of them. So just to me, it's very interesting on correlating when you look at a number of different stats and kind of how those look like. Let's see what else we got. Game of Kings ranked at 69, and I'll show you kind of where they all rank to as well. Nations of Darkness. Let me see. Mobile Strike. Gosh, Arnold. Number 91. Chief Almighty came in number 99. We got Empire 4 Kingdoms coming in at 112. And you'll kind of see some of these Dominations, right? You still actually play that for a little bit. That was pretty fun. 123, they came in ranked. Kingdom Conquest, 135. We got Lord of Seas, 149 that they ranked. And this kind of shows you, right? So the top 200, right? Farthest back was Stormfall Rise of Baller at 195. Hi, sweetie. And so let me just show you release date now. And I'm hoping, I don't know if it's going to work. Oh, it does. Look at this. So release date. Here's some stats for release date numbers, right? For the most recently released games. And again, you're going to see that some of these are new. Some of them aren't even on the board. But the newest one here, which was Eve Galaxy, this was released October, similar with Age of Empires, 4.5 mil, right? They came in, they were number 27 ranked. You see Mecha Domination Rampage 2.9. So these are some of the most recent Kingdom Builders that have the most amount of downloads. 2.9 for Mecha Domination. They came in ranked 4 or 6. They're at a 4.6 rating. It's not bad. 2.5 here for Primal Conquest downloads. That was March of last year. They're at rank 66, 3.4, right? But maybe the 5.3 might be a little bit more maybe worthish. Checking out World of Water, right? January of last year, so almost a year ago. 5.3 million downloads, 4.5 rating. And then you could see Sea of Conquest, right? Coming in at the top of that, right? For games released in 2024. This one has the most downloads so far. 6.6 mil. They ranked number 25 on top grossing. It had a 4.3 rating. We can look at some of the 2023s if you'd like, and I'll kind of show those off. And then again, I'll show these off and kind of pause. Or not pause, but allow you guys to pause because I'm sure you'll probably will want to take a look too as well. But yeah, this kind of goes to show you wasn't COD right here? Yeah, COD, so you can see there, right, released March 25th, 2023, Wild Survival right there with them. Infinity Kingdom 2021. And then we got 2018 here. And let's see, we got 2017. And then we'll look at some of the older games too as well, because I always find it really interesting taking a look. I think that's it, right? King's Empire. So you look at this, right? Empire 4 Kingdoms. Even though they haven't got anything, they got 55 million views. They were released in 2013, right? It kind of shows you that like Game of War wasn't the oldest Kingdom Builder, but like the one I have, at least at the moment, from some research, is King's Empire, where they released February 20th of 2013 as the first, potentially, let me say that, first Kingdom Builder to release as a mobile game. But again, even like looking at this, right, you still have some games that are getting like Invasion, right, released 2014, right, still getting 6 mil downloads, 61 mil total. I mean, just nuts. March of Empires, 2015 release, 2 million downloads, 32 million. And then Lords Mobile, 2016, 50. I mean, just absolutely nuts, some of these games that were released years ago, but are still performing really well today. That's going to do it for me. Again, we showed off a lot of data. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And let me know what you think. Would you like to see any other particular types of pieces of data that we compare for games within the Kingdom Builder genre? And or anything else that maybe you'd like to see more frequently? Anything that stuck out to you that you thought, wow, that's pretty shocking? Let me know in the comments down below. That's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.